Hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me and happy Thursday. Today, I have a question for you. That question is, what are you good at? The reason this question came to mind is because a friend of mine, she said, every time I bring something to you, you always have a way to point me to, even if you don't know the answer, you go back and say, well, let's think about this. Let's find some options. And she was actually interested in learning UX. And so about 5, 10 minutes later, I was like, listen, go on Coursera because Coursera has some courses where you can learn about UX. And she's like, wow, I never thought about that. Thank you guys for joining me. And so she made the point that I am very resourceful. And that had me thinking, okay, everybody's actually resourceful, but maybe they're not tapping into it. So I want you today, before you go to bed, write in your journal, what am I good at? At the beginning of every new year, people always wonder, what can I accomplish this year? What can I tap into this year to make me a better person? What can I do this year to help someone else be a better person? Well, what are you good at? Some of us are simply good at maybe your profession, whatever your career is. You're excellent at that. You're at the top of your game. You are the expert to go to person in that field. Now, there are others, maybe outside of your job. You have some kind of talent or interest that you are absolutely phenomenal at. What is that one thing? I want you to write that one thing down. So many times we work on jobs, we go into careers that pay us but are not fulfilling. So, what is the one thing that you enjoy doing that you are good at? Even if you're not naturally good at it, maybe it's something that you had to teach yourself, but you truly enjoy it. So, what do people come to you for? Yesterday, I talked about employees being hired because they offer a solution to a problem. Maybe the problem is simply that the employer needs more manpower, hands on skill to get a job done. Well, you were hired to do that. So let's think about you, yourself, and your personal life. What is that one thing that people come to you because they know you have the answer? And when we think about that one thing, then what you need to do next is say, how can I hone in on a skill? How can I use this and apply it to my life to help me and to help those around me? What is that one thing? When I asked myself that question, what's that one thing? I was like, well, you know what? I kind of like teaching. I've always enjoyed teaching. As a matter of fact, a coworker came to me recently because she didn't understand a contract and the language of the contract. And within 2 seconds, I related it to signing a lease agreement and explained to her, well, this is how this relates and what it means, because I knew she could understand having a lease agreement in her personal life. And I related that to the contract we were reading through. So that actually reminded me that teachers are the ones who always do that. And when you read my books, I'm always giving analogies. So, what is the one thing? And for me, that one thing was speaking, teaching, and showing others, helping others, enlightening them, or guiding them in some way so that they can be better individuals. What is the one thing about you that you know that if you shared it with the world, it would change your life? Maybe you are a pharmacist, maybe you are a doctor, maybe you are a project manager. Whatever it is you do and you do it well, how can you also capitalize on that in your personal life? One of the things I will in the future do is share what I've learned about starting my own business. And we all start things because there's something we know we have within us. Maybe you start the business to give back. Maybe you started a business because it's something that you enjoy doing it. Whatever your reason is, hone in on that skill, because if that's your one thing in 2023, I want you to go after it. I don't want you to stop. I want you to take it wherever you can take it. So if your one thing is to do like myself and go on live every day, go after it nonstop. Think about, how can I improve this? What can I give to those who do join me on my lives and follow me? What is my one thing? Because I had a friend who recently passed. He has some illness and ailments, and recently succumbed to it. And it had me thinking, he enjoyed life, but for those of us who are still here, if you knew tomorrow was your last day, what is that one thing you would think, I should have done this with my life? So when you put it in that perspective, it's like, okay, now I have the time. I've been blessed with tomorrow. I've been blessed with today. How am I going to go after that one thing? Identify that and go after it. I encourage people who talk to me and trying to get their lives back together when they're trying to figure out what to do next. I always ask them, what is it you want to do? I don't want to be 100 years old and look back and say, I wish I could have, I wish I did, I should have, I would have, but life got in the way, things happen. Life is always going to happen, but life is also what you make it. So find out your one thing and make it your thing. Truly make it your thing. Make it that thing that you go after, that thing you wake up every morning and say, I'm going to work on this more today. I'm going to go after it. Whatever it is, because you guys, at the end of the day, it's your life. So if you have something that you enjoy, that you feel you've been called to do, go after that thing. Do that thing. So tonight, like I said, when you sit down and journal, write down what is your one thing. And before I go, of course, I have my saying, if you want to go places in life, you got to grow. Because as you grow, you will definitely go places. And wherever you go, make sure you give, because giving is the seed to your growth. It'll come right back around to you, in other words. Thank you so much for joining me on the live. If you caught the replay and you have some comments, write them in the chat. I'll be glad to read them and respond. Take care, and I will see you all tomorrow. Be safe. Bye bye.